Iyo, untuk sambula na veiwekani matai au via vartatsugani na ni sa to vivanduni tu mai na veiwekani mo mai totondona vosa ni se na Eulogy membala ti Uncle Baki sa saka na turanga na tuyo na tamai na bunung saka buta tano au mainduri juga na dua na matanggali ba na abusa buku tatano na toko tumba ulitana kina na vosa juga na na toko kina be bunung saka ina tu bunu buta tano ena kabinikua juga sakta waktu na bunu mai kumbuna unang turang na palu untuk kamba ina bunua belum pasanga unang maram naro betul dekai kena sasa na matin tutowat ilalang abis unang turang na itu kau sepuluh untuk benua unang turang na tilau na soni bumukulau na abut turang na mantutu benua mai itu na turang na tilau hostel tungani tu na tempat nabi Aunty Flo to all the relatives of Aunty Flo who will be listening in. I'm speaking on behalf of the nephews and the nieces from our family. My name is George Tami, and I'm the second youngest of the Dr. Isikiri Tami, the late Dr. Isikiri Tami, and my mom, Mrs. Luisa Tami, who's still at home in Walekutu, but we there, and I'm speaking on behalf of the family of our huge family, which is why they've asked me to give a few words on behalf of Uncle Baki, our late Uncle Baki, who's also with Aunty Flo, our late Aunty Flo. The family of our grandmother Pu Timai Maliandua, she had Dr. Iskilitami, and then we had our super mechanic Uncle Sai, and then we had the greatest fisherman I ever known, Master Chua Matararam, and then we had Aunty Steta, who always looked after us. And then we have my namesake, Uncle Chochi, the greatest PS, or permanent secretary in Fiji. And he's always the super minds of Fiji. And then we had Uncle Baki. Uncle Baki was the most mysterious person in the family. And we've heard he's a millionaire, and then he came to in Ngaloa. He lived a life of a simple man. So we couldn't tell, but if you were close to him, and then you could tell that he's been there, done that. Like he could have been to the sun, and that's what we know. But and then we had our late Auntie Willie and Uncle Skulu and Uncle Temo. Those are the family that we knew, and we always cherish our family. Talking about Uncle Baki, most of us knew Uncle Baki as the man from Zambia. When we were little kids, we always wondered, who's Uncle Baki? And when he came with Aunty Flo, He was like the biggest Father Christmas that came over, because everyone has to enjoy. All the families from top to bottom will enjoy his stay for a month, and Uncle Baki will make sure he visits everybody. He made sure, and everybody had a treat. Now, the treat means feasting every day, from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was Uncle Baki and Auntie Flo. And when I was a school kid, he used to come and stay with us. He actually didn't like to stay in a hotel. And then later in the years, when we were living, more close, then we realized he's done that. He's lived in hotels for so long. He doesn't want to live in them anymore. We love traveling. He was a geologist. He was a prospecting geologist. And then they used to come to Lotok, and I began to know Uncle Baki. He was a heavy smoker, and because I was his boy and doing the boats and doing the, he welded the trailer for the boat, and he bought the material and then I welded it, and I could see him smoking those Rothmans. Package of 20, whole gross. Now, when he came, he bought like 10 grosses of cigarettes, and that 10 grosses will go by end of the month. And in one gross, you have like 10, 20 packs, and he'll smoke like 20 packs a day, just one after another. Yeah, that was Uncle Baki. But we work from morning till late in the evening. He built the trailer. He bought the boat, and then we went fishing. Yeah. And then there were other things that he did. Yeah. He used to repair the car, take apart the engine, and that's what I said. He has got a photographic memory. Yeah. Just like Uncle Sai too. They all have photograph, because they rip the materials apart, the car parts, and just stuck it everywhere. Ding, 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 ding. And then time to put it back again. Everything went into place. And I was so mad, man. When I even fixing the simple lawnmower, when putting back the parts, I get some extra parts, and I don't even know where the parts came from. But that was Uncle Baki. And then he went back to Africa, and then in 90s, they both came. And one day I asked him, why you coming for good? And he said, oh man, there's too many holdups. We were kidnapped, they were stopped in the road, taken by bandits, held to the head with the guns. He said, he can't do that. In Fiji, there's no gun. He said, people can come up and rob you, but you won't be, your life is secured. Yeah, that was him. Yeah. And he had one favorite then. It was my elder brother. He passed away, Skelly, Tammy. Now they gelled together because they were that kind of people that work thing. Yeah? That's another thing I saw, that with Uncle Baki, they are skilled with their hands. Yeah, maybe we didn't have a proper education at school, but their hands did the talking. Yeah, did the thinking, did the talking, and everything they touched, they just did it. And we wonder how they did it. But they did it. Putting things, doing things. Yeah. And I remember going with him to purchase the house in Unduya Point. Me and him went to the bank, and then we took a taxi down to Unduya Point, and there was Mrs. Miller, European lady, old. And then Uncle Baki did the deal, and the lawyer was there and asked, how much you selling the house for? And Mrs. Miller said 120,000. Uncle Baki, oh, okay, and then no, 120,000. Those days were like half a million, no, probably $1 million, yeah. Mrs. Miller was looking at Uncle Baki with the look that, where will this man get his money from? So then Uncle Baki opened his briefcase, took out 120,000 cash of $20, counted it, everything settled. We signed the deal. Had a cup of tea. Mrs. Miller was so happy. We were about to go, then Uncle Baki said, "And I'm so pleased. Thank you, Mrs. Miller. I was thinking that you will say 120,000 US dollars, and I brought 300,000. Mrs. Miller's eyes almost popped out. It was too late. She already signed the title of the land of Unduaput, and we had a good laugh. But I was thinking, man, he's got 300,000 in the briefcase. Just like that. That was Uncle Baki. You never know. You see him, don't think he's got no money. He got huge amounts of money. Yeah. So he bought Unduaput, and our grandma, Pu Chimaima, and Aunty Willie and the family, they moved down there. And they looked after Unduaput till they came back in the 90s. I forgot when. I think it was 93 or 90. No. Yeah, 95, 96. And they came back. And Uncle Baki's family they didn't have any kids, but they looked after everyone. Yeah. And we used to wonder why they didn't have any family, why they didn't have any kids. But it's that no, life is life. Their kids were us, everybody, from top to bottom. Yeah, the nieces, all the nieces and nephews were the children, including Auntie Flo's kids, relatives. Yeah, they looked after everyone so well. And going on then from then, when I came to New Zealand, my family stayed back. My two children, my two daughters were there. Dee and Chris, the late Chris passed away in 2017. They had formed very close bonds with their grandpa and grandma in Ngaloa. And I was just asking Dee, anything I can see in the Eulogy? And Dee said, oh, man, Grandpa used to play his favorite song every night before we go to sleep. It is My Teddy Bear by Elvis Presley. That was his favorite song. So if I could ask Anna to play that song, My Teddy Bear by Elvis Presley. And the other thing too, with our family, with me, after my dad passed away, he became like a dad to me, and he just looked after me. Yeah, anything, any problems, anything, he just looked after me without any strings attached. That was Uncle Baki. Nothing attached. And just come. Anything. Because there was the other thing. Because my mom, when she gave birth to my brother, elder brother, Iskeli Tami, that was in Turek. Uncle Baki helped deliver boy. Yeah. So my mom and Uncle Baki are very close. Everything they do because of that relationship. Yeah. When my dad came back from hospital, boy was already born in Turek. Yeah. Yeah, it was because of Uncle Baki. So we can say he's got nerves of steel, he's got love. And talking about Auntie Flo, Dee said every night, every day, Auntie Flo will sing all the hymns in the world. She enjoyed singing in Ngaloa. under that mango tree, and she had a very lovely voice, and she used to do it. But she said something. She used to tell them that, man, I used to live in a very luxurious life. I was a queen back in Zambia with my own house, my own servants, and that was real. It was. But now I'm back to reality. Yeah, those are the things that happen. It's Uncle Baki, yeah. And Uncle Baki was a hunter. He shot, because I know when Christine went hunting, yes, she shot her first goat on a rifle. She, after the very next minute, she called her grandpa in Ngalwa to tell her that she fired or shot a goat. Just because Christine was, when she lived on the farm with Uncle Baki, they said early in the morning, 5 o'clock, they used to go out. Only Chris will wake up and go out with Uncle Baki and do the chickens, go around the farm, feed the chickens, get the eggs, everything, while they were back in Fiji. And before she passed away, she was planning back to go and stay in Ngaloa and look after them. But things happened and she passed away. But I hope we get to meet each other. Yeah, those are the things that I remember about Uncle Baki. He was a great fisherman. He did some business in selling fish, but then as a Fijian saying, that's what happened. And last time I went to Fiji, I went to the place because we were trying to subdivide this land, but it never eventually happened. But I think because of the COVID-19, and we can't see him or say goodbye to him now. Maybe an Aunty Flo, we miss them both. And I think the whole family miss them both. It's and that things that Aunty Stater was saying in Eulogy is very true. No strings attached. He'll just come, bring the things that you really need on that very day, on your hour of need. If you ask God to bring something, he'll probably tell Uncle Baki, hey, go there. They need something. Because in this, he did things out of the extraordinary. So maybe, yeah, that was a thing too. He was a member of this the worldwide prayer group, which they call and they pray for things. So he was very religious, but he never showed it. But that's what angels are for. Eh? Maybe we had an angel living among us and we didn't know. So I hope that I've told a story that matches your recollections of Uncle Baki. And to that, I wish I was there to bury him or put him to rest. I wish, and I miss him. Thank you, Uncle Baki. Thank you, Aunty Flo. Vinakavakalevu veiwekani. For giving me this opportunity to say in the Eulogy. And may God bless you, Uncle Baki, and be with you. And to that I end this Eulogy by saying, Father, Heavenly Father, we thank you very much for giving us Uncle Baki in some other month.